Well, hey, this is Rosa, rcgkreations. How you doing? Today I'm bringing to you foiling. This is my first time foiling, and I'm using this, bear with me, turn this around, Anna Griffin Decoil Foil kit. I've had this for several number of years, and I just write down the name of the stuff of what it is. And I'm also using my roll of Decoil Foil. I've already done a couple of sheets I want to show you. And it's really, let me get some paper. Here we go. Isn't that pretty? The gold, that's the gold. Here's the green. Oh no, yeah, no, that's kind of like the teal color blue. The teal blue. I'm going to kind of angle it so the glare doesn't get you. And then, oh, this is a pretty one. Kind of a lilac purple. Isn't that pretty, lilac purple? And all I did was this is, of course you can tell this is, what do you call this paper? I just went blank. Oh, what is this paper called? Well, that's silly of me. I know that. Well, anyway, here's some other ones. And, what do you call this paper? You know what? I'm going to come right back because I'm going to find out what that is. Hold on just a second. Okay, I'm back. It's called Vellum Paper. I'm just making sure it's still recording. Okay, so, and they're just different colors. I did a whole sheet, and what I did is, if you're doing foiling, and don't quote me on all of this because I'm totally brand new to this, but I've done a lot of research, I've watched a lot of videos, I've done a lot of Google, and this is my very first time experimenting with this by myself. What I did is I have a laser printer. I'm very fortunate to have a laser printer. And I printed a bunch of these words and messages on the laser printer on cardstock. And I did it on the vellum because I wanted to see what the vellum was like. So that's what I did. And then I put it through my laminator sheet, which is just a piece of copy paper. It's a legal size copy paper. And then I cut it all off into little squares so I can save some of my foil, and then I put it in there, and I actually just had it just like this, and then I ran it through my laminator, and I have this little laminator. It's called the Duck, and this is a good 15 years old. I know it is. I mainly used it. It's even older than that because I got this when I was doing stuff when my daughter was in school, and she's 39 years old now. So this baby is old, but still, you know, I hardly ever used it, so it worked for me. And you use what you got. So you can use a very inexpensive laminator to do this with. So then I just run it through, you know, the laminator, and it comes out. Make sure this is totally cool. I've read a bunch of this stuff that a lot of ways to save it is make sure that this is cooled off before you take off the foil from the sheet. So here is one, and there's the there it is. And don't throw this away because you can still use all this other stuff that hasn't been used. But look, let me get another piece of laminator here. Another copy paper. But look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that really pretty? And I like it because it's just enough. And then I'm just going to be able to use my decorative scissors, or I can use some circle or square die cuts, whatever, and cut this out, you know, just to make it even. And I like the fact that I use this particular vellum is little squares. I like that because it's something different besides the plain old one. And then here is, now we just did it in two pieces, because you can cut your foil however you want to do it. I didn't want to waste a bunch of stuff, so, and of course I could still use that again because I have a lot of these messages that I made. And here's the same thing, only this one's just one piece. And there's that. But now, here's the exact same thing. Oh, here it is. I use gold vellum. And bear with me on this one because this is my very first ones I use. And a lot of the foil been on the paper. So I'm not using this. But I wanted to keep this in my video just to let people know that. I have seen a couple of videos where this happens. It is just, my machine just was not hot enough for it to be clear, because look at this. I'm going to show you the difference. Here is the very first ones that I did, and you see this excess vellum foil on the vellum is because it wasn't hot enough, and then when it's really, really hot, it only adhered to the laser printed part. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that. But here's some other ones. Like here's a green one. Still did it green and stuff, but you know, I'm probably still going to use this. I don't know yet. I'm just going to keep it in my stash so I don't have to worry about it. But as you can see here, it's not all over the vellum like it is on this other sheet. So I just wanted to show you that, and I'm going to bring that to your attention. So let me move these out of the way. I just did a bunch of huff because, you know, I'm going to be honest with you, I wanted to practice before I went live. And it's like, uh-oh, messed up. Okay, so here is, now this is just white. This is my Nina 100-pound white cardstock. And I just did some clip art on my laser printer. And I'm just, you know, I'm going to just tinker to see what I could get. Now, because this is all right in here, I can't do that on here because there's going to be, wherever this is at, you can't reuse this again. So I'm not going to use this piece. I'm just going to get a brand new piece that hasn't been used. And I did a bunch of cutting, so I have that. And then let's make these purple flowers. And let's make these purple flowers. And we should be able to get them both on this one sheet. And almost. And it's okay for you to overlap your two pieces, just as long as the laser printing is not overlapping each other. That way I'm going to use this whole sheet here. So you lay it, oh, before I forget, you got to get your little, get yourself a little brush, because doing all the stuff that you're working with it, you get little dust particles that you can't see. So brush your project. And then you want to brush the back of the foil, so if there's any dust particles, the dust particles will not adhere to your laser printing. Okay, then you close that down, and then let me move this over out of the way so I can stay in the video. I'm just going to move this over. Oops, sorry about that. That was yucky. I have a glass tabletop. Let me get this out of the way so I can get in the video here. Okay. So here, let me move this. I gotta get this out of the way too. Okay. So, let me make sure that I'm in frame. You can see it. Okay, yeah, you can see that. Okay, so let's move this over a little bit more. And then I'm just going to feed it. And you let it catch it by itself. Let your laminator catch it. And however slow or fast your machine is how it is. Be patient. Don't rush this. And we're going to let it go through, but I really try to make this under 15 minutes, so this is going to be a quick video. So I'm going to go ahead and show you, because I want you to see the step-by-step process, okay? And so this is really warm, but I've been doing it for a good about 35 minutes. So when your machine gets really hot, turn it off, let it cool down, and then start back up again. Okay, so this is really hot. Not hot, burning hot, but it's hot. So I'm going to move this over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off. And I'm going to move this over. I'm going to let it cool off. And then here are, going to open it up. It's cooled off, so we're good to go. It doesn't really, like as you can see, it really didn't take, look at the time frame on the video. It really didn't take very long, so let's do the reveal. Let's see what we got. Oh, that pretty. That really turned out nice. Then you get look at that. Isn't that really pretty? Whoops. Here, let's see. Let me show you that one, but I want to get the glare off of there. Isn't that gorgeous? And if you wanted to, you can get your little marker, and then you can color in between where the foil's at. But I'm doing this just the way it is, just like this. I'm not gonna mess with that. This one, the same thing. I could. And this is a little flower, and of course, because I gave myself enough room, I can just put like a circle over a die cut around it, do a scallop one. And in fact, let me show you what I have here. I think I'm going to do, see these, your stacking die cuts? Let me find an oval one, but I'm going to do the circle. I have all mine in a little bin that I keep because I use these quite often. Circle, 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 circle. Where's my ovals? Oh, there's my ovals. Actually, they're not where they're supposed to be. Oh, even actually, this would even be pretty. Look at that. We could do a star. Look at that. Not quite that one. Let's do this one. And it was too. It's not. It was too big. Well, it won't do a full star. But look. That one won't work either, so let's do this one. So if you design it right, and if this is what you want to do, do this first. Is find whatever die cut that you want to use, and then put whatever your flower is, and then cut your white cardstock or whatever cardstock that you're using, because you can do any color, and cut it out. The whole shape is on there, and the flower would be right in the dead center. But that's just an idea, you know, of what you can do with these. Besides that, and then you just add them as die cuts onto your pieces and do that. But I want to, where's my little ovals? There's my rectangles. There's the squares. That's my circles. Circle, circle, circles, circles, circles. And you don't even have to stick with that shape. Oh, found them. Duh. I just wasn't looking right. But look at this. Wouldn't one of these be? This one I think would be pretty with this set. This is the Heartfelt Creations one. And okay. But this actually it's too big. It's too big for this one. But it would be perfect for this one. Put it in the center. What I would do is cut the paper out, cut this out first, and then laminate it. So that way the design is already on here. So that's what I would do. But again, like I said, I started off the video saying I'm learning. This is all new to me. And yeah, let's do the little scallop one. Let's see what that looks like. See, that one would work. Wouldn't that be pretty? Look at that. See that? That's a perfect little spot. And I'm still in my frame of the entire piece of cardstock. See that? And I would cut the whole thing out, so the whole thing would be cut out. And then that would be my base. And if I really wanted to, I could still use a marker or my alcohol markers, either one. And then color the flower. And then leave the yellow, the purple foil as a highlight accent. It's up to you, but I'll be back and you'll see a finished project. Okay? Okay, I'm going to decorate this card. And I use one of my dies that I showed earlier. And this is the purple, kind of a lighty purple color one. But from what I've seen, and I've never done this, this is the first time doing it, and I'm using Distress Oxide Scattered Straw. I wanted a light color. You can... Oh, let me get a piece of paper because I don't want to get my fingers. And you always don't want to use your fingers on here because they will leave smudge marks. You're allowed to go over the whole thing and then you wipe it off with a clean cloth. And the ink wipes away from the foil. And I don't want a heavy color. I just want a little bit of color. So that's why I'm going with my Distress, and I'm picking a lighter color. So I'm just going to ink it up, and then I'll bring you right back. Okay, I'm bringing you back. I've inked the whole thing, and then all you do, and I just use one of this little microfiber towels, and you just gently rub off on the foil part. And as you can see, I already did this one, and I'm going to bring it up here so you can see how this one right here was done, but this one has some ink residue over it. And then you just lightly wipe away the top surface of the ink that's on the embossing. Excuse me, the foiling, sorry. Okay. And as I angle it in person, I could definitely see it. And I'm hoping you can see that in the video. Okay. So now we're just going to put this together. I already got all my little pieces here. And I'm just going to this is one of those pre-made box cards. Okay. It's got the lining on it. So we're just going to do I'm just going to put wet adhesive on here. This is going to go to the postal mail, and I don't want to put extra postage in it. So I'm not going to raise this up on double-sided foam. I'm just going to make it flat, so that way it's only one stamp. And then decorate this other one. Let me make sure that I have my spacing pretty good. I want it a little bit higher. And then my spacing over here. Okay, that looks good. Alright, so let me line this up. Okay, good. Right about right there. And then the same thing for this. Now whenever I'm doing this with wet glue, I always get on the corner pieces, because those are the pieces from opening and closing the card, and you never know how much is going to be opened and closed. I always make sure I go to the very edge on all the sides and the corner pieces to make sure that the adhesive sticks very well and that it doesn't buckle up on me. Okay, that's just me. I just like to do that because I hate to receive a card and you get it, and then the first time you opened it, the whole thing kind of sort of falls apart. And there's the front. So it's got a little bit of highlights. It has a white, drastic white of the card that I had before. And I just wanted to stay in the theme of the color themes, and I just used this color here. And I just because, no big reason. That's just what I picked. Now the inside of the card, I went ahead and got this, and I used my, I printed this on my ink printer. And I just used different color ink on the one I printed it on with my fonts, which pretty much all programs have that. I think. I could be wrong, but I think they all do, but I may be wrong. I just know I use Microsoft Word. But actually I printed this off my PrintMaster Gold CD cartridge that I have from over 20 years ago. Long time, long time. And there is the completed card. So let me put my glue back away and we'll finish up the video here. So this is just my little scraps so my fingers don't get in the ink. And so that's the front of the card. That's the inside of the card. I could add some little embellishments, but like I said, I'm putting this in the mail, so I want it to be flat. And then here's a pre-made homemade envelope that I made for it. And then this is my take on, and I could have used one of these messages over here, but I didn't want to have too much because I already had this on here. So this is my take on using your Decoil foil with your laminator. I'm going to get ready to do these next. And these are just, here's that big set of flowers. So I'm going to do this in pink. I just wanted some variety. And then I'm going to put these in I do my own sheet protectors. I'm going to cut them to fit and put them in there, so that way I always have them, they're already ready. They're foiled, they're done, and I don't have to worry about them. So whenever I get ready for another project, they'll already be ready to roll. So this is my take on foiling. Here's my brush that I used to ink with a laminator. Here we go. Let me just put all this together so everybody can see it. And there's my stuff there. Well, thank you so much for watching. We catch you at the next video. Don't forget to hit like, comment, and share. Have a great one. Bye-bye.